Asim Munir is Osama bin Laden in a suit. The fact of the matter is, there is no amount of concession that can be given to Pakistan that is going to change the ideology of Asim Munir or the Pakistani elite which he represents. This is why I'm saying that Pakistan is playing a very dangerous game. And while it may sound radical, the fact that Pakistan is now threatening half the world with nuclear weapons, it's threatening to blow up Indian dams and so forth, is an indication that Pakistan has lost its right to be a legitimate state on the international stage.
You heard former Pentagon official Michael Rubin. He does not mince his words when he says Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir is Osama bin Laden in a suit. This comes after Munir issued multiple threats against India from American soil. Hello and welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's connect the dots of Pakistan's nuclear blackmail and how Pakistan remains a real risk, not only for India, but for the whole world.
हम घर में घुसकर मारेंगे।
पाकिस्तान से छीन नहीं सकते।
While addressing a Pakistani diaspora audience in Tampa, Florida, Munir claimed that if India were to build a dam on the Indus River, Pakistan would destroy it with 10 missiles. As if that was not theatrical enough, he added that if Pakistan were to face an existential crisis, then as a nuclear power, it would take half the world down with it. Munir did not stop there. He repeated Kashmir is Pakistan's jugular vein remark. The same remark that he had made before the April 22 Pahalgam terror attack in India that was widely seen as a coded signal to Pakistan-sponsored terrorists to carry out the Pahalgam terror attack. That's not all. In a veiled threat, Munir indicated that RIL's Jamnagar Refinery is on Pakistan's hit list in case of a future military conflict with India. He referred to a social media post with a Quranic verse along with a picture of RIL chairman Mukesh Ambani to say that he authorized a strike at his Jamnagar refinery during the recent conflict with India to show India what Pakistan will do the next time. So now Pakistan is even threatening to hit India's economic assets, especially oil installations. India hit back at Asim Munir's provocations. This is what New Delhi said. We won't give in to nuclear blackmail. Remarks reinforce well-held doubts about the integrity of Pakistan's nuclear command and control. Pakistan military is hand in glove with terrorist groups. In fact, Munir ended up embarrassing himself and his country by inadvertently admitting where Pakistan currently stands vis-a-vis India, in the pits. He said, and I quote, India is shining a Mercedes coming on a highway like Ferrari, but we are a dump truck full of gravel. If the truck hits the car, who is going to be the loser? Munir's crude analogy, as he himself put it, made him a laughter stock on social media. Look at how social media users poked fun at Munir. This photo says it all. And this one says, glad Munir acknowledged that Pakistan is a dump truck full of gravel. Asim Munir is Pakistan's de facto political ruler. Soon after his reckless threats from American soil, the civilian leadership in Pakistan started singing the same tune. This threat from Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif was the fourth threat from Pakistan in 48 hours after Asim Munir, Bilawal Bhutto and Khwaja Asif issued similar threats.
और मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ आज दुश्मन को कि अगर तुम हमारा पानी बंद करने की धमकी देते हो तो ये बात ज़हन में रखना कि पाकिस्तान की एक बूंद भी तुम पाकिस्तान से छीन नहीं सकते। उस खुदाए बुजुर्गो बरतर की कसम है कि अगर तुमने ये हरकत की तो दोबारा तुम्हें वो सबक सिखाएंगे कि तुम कानों को हाथ लगाओगे पाकिस्तान का तुम कभी भी।
Remember, a day after the Pahalgam terror attack, India had announced a series of punitive measures against Pakistan, and that included putting the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance till such time that Pakistan does not stop its support for cross-border terrorism against India. India is prepared to safeguard its national security at all times.
हम घर में घुसकर मारेंगे।
We have worked out amongst three services. This time, if Pakistan dare take any action, and Pakistan knows it, what we are going to do.
Nuclear blackmail is part of a familiar pattern that Pakistan follows. After every major crisis between India and Pakistan, Pakistani officials have issued veiled or explicit nuclear threats. Pakistan's nuclear blackmail started with Operation Brass Tacks of 1987. During large-scale Indian military exercises, Pakistan's then-President Zia-ul Haq and nuclear scientist Abdul Qadir Khan issued explicit warnings that Pakistan would use nuclear weapons if its existence was threatened. In 1990, amidst rising tensions in Kashmir due to cross-border terrorism, Pakistan's then Foreign Minister warned India that war clouds would gather if the situation escalated, hinting at nuclear consequences. Post the 1998 nuclear tests, Pakistan's nuclear rhetoric intensified during the 1999 Kargil War and after major terrorist attacks in India too. After the 2001 Parliament attack, India mobilized its military for potential punitive strikes. India called it Operation Parakram. General Khalid Kidwai, head of Pakistan's strategic forces, then publicly spoke of 4 red lines that could prompt nuclear use. So Pakistan issued public nuclear threats against India. After 2016, 2019 and 2025 terrorist attacks by Pakistan, India launched cross-border strikes. The 2016 surgical strikes, the 2019 Balakot airstrikes and the 2025 Operation Sindoor. Pakistan responded with nuclear saber-rattling each time. Pakistan has also outsourced this job to terrorists it breeds on its soil. In 2016, Lashkar-e-Taiba chief Hafiz Saeed said that not only India and Israel, but Western nations are also within the reach of Pakistan's nuclear missiles. David Albright, president of the US-based Institute for Science and International Security, wrote in 2002 about the possibility of Sultan Bashiruddin Mahmud, once a senior official in Pakistan's nuclear weapons program, passing on nuclear knowledge, equipment or materials to the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Remember, Osama bin Laden had told a Pakistani journalist that he already has nuclear weapons. Mahmud, who is the father of the current ISPR chief in Pakistan, was sanctioned by the United Nations and the United States after reports that he provided Osama bin Laden with sensitive information about chemical, biological and nuclear weapons. That's not all. Pakistan has multiple times stated its first use policy of nuclear weapons against India. It also describes the situation with India as a nuclear flashpoint, even though India has never issued such threats. This clearly shows that Pakistan holds the nefarious intentions of exercising the nuclear option. It is also public knowledge that Pakistan obtained nuclear weapon by theft of technology from abroad using dubious means and then sold it through a clandestine network to Iran, North Korea and Libya. A Pakistan minister said in April this year, Pakistan's arsenal, including Gori, Shaheen and Ghaznavi missiles, along with 130 nuclear warheads, have been kept only for India. Pakistan's ambassador to Russia too said in May that Pakistan will use the full spectrum of power, both conventional and nuclear, against India. So Pakistan's track record of nuclear proliferation and nuclear blackmail speaks for itself. Fact is that given Pakistan's use of terrorism as a state policy and the influence of extremist ideologies in its government and army, the possibility of nuclear weapons falling in wrong hands in Pakistan remains a real risk, not only for India, but for the entire global community. Asim Munir is a religious fanatic and has control of Pakistan's nuclear button. The world, including the Trump administration, must understand that the real instability in the Indian subcontinent comes from Pakistan military that has its hand on the nuclear button. Pakistan fuels terrorism and issues nuclear threats, and the world, including the US, has been a victim of the terrorism it breeds. India, for its part, has always acted with strategic maturity.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it.
I don't know this man, don't want to know him. All I know is he's a rich man pushing people with no money around.
US President Donald Trump has sparked a storm in Washington, D.C. Trump has ordered homeless people to move out immediately and sent hundreds of federal agents and National Guard troops into the streets. Trump says it's to fight crime. But can he really take control of the capital? Let's break it down. President Trump first made all these announcements on social media. Let's see what Trump wrote. The homeless have to move out immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the capital. The criminals, you don't have to move out. We are going to put you in jail where you belong. So the message was very hard. Last month, Trump signed an order making it easier to arrest homeless people. Last week, he ordered 450 federal law enforcement officers, including the FBI, DEA, and US Marshals, onto the streets. And now, Trump invoked emergency powers to take control of the DC Metropolitan Police Department and deployed 800 National Guard troops. The plan's details remain unclear, but Trump previously suggested moving homeless people to high-quality tent facilities outside cities with access to bathrooms and medical care. Trump argues violent crime is out of control in DC, even comparing it to Baghdad. His allies say the city is dangerous and dirty, but Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser dismissed this. She says the city is not experiencing a crime spike and violent crime is at a 30-year low.
This year, crime isn't just down from 2023, it's also down from 2019, before the pandemic, and we're at a 30-year violent crime low.
There is also data validating her claims. The Metropolitan Police Department data says violent crime spiked in 2023, but in 2024 it fell 35%, which is the lowest in 3 decades. In the first 7 months of 2025, it's down another 26%. Robbery is also down 28%. But the city's homicide rate is still a concern. DC has a higher homicide rate per capita than many other major US cities, with 98 killings recorded so far this year. The city also has a significant homeless population. An organization called Community Partnership estimates that out of the city's 700,000 residents, about 3,782 people are homeless on any given night. Most of these people are in shelters, but about 800 are on the street. The White House said homeless people in DC could face jail time if they do not comply with encampment removal.
So homeless individuals will be given the option to leave their encampment, to be taken to a homeless shelter, to be offered addiction or mental health services, and if they refuse, they will be susceptible to fines or to jail time.
Advocates for the homeless in Washington, D.C. say the Trump administration's plan to clear encampments and offer limited options won't solve the city's homelessness crisis.
There is a problem in homelessness. This is not the way to solve it. This is not going to solve it. This is going to make it worse for the people who are experiencing homelessness. The way to solve it is to help people, is to house people, is to, make connections with them. How do you end homelessness? You house people. That's what we believe, and that's what we know works. The reason why homelessness exists in this country to the degree that it does is because there is a terrible lack of affordable housing across the country, especially in cities. That is why, what is at the root of it, and it's only getting worse, and it's only going to make more and more people homeless, right?
Reports say Trump's rhetoric and law and order platform often target majority Democratic cities with large black populations, for example, Baltimore, Chicago, and Washington. Washington's population is 44% black, and residents have a long history of fighting for local self-governance against federal interference. Critics see these moves as part of a pattern of disproportionate federal crackdowns on black majority cities, while Trump frames them as anti-crime measures. Now let's see what's special about Washington, D.C. First, D.C. is not a state. It's a federal district created by the US Constitution in 1790 to be independent from any single state's influence. The US Congress has full legislative authority over it. But in 1973, the Home Rule Act gave residents the right to elect a mayor and council. Still, Congress can overturn local laws and controls the city's budget. Most importantly, the president directly commands the DC National Guard, unlike in states where governors are in charge. The president can also take control of DC's police during special emergencies for up to 30 days without Congress's approval. That unique setup gives the president more direct authority in Washington than anywhere else in the country. And this is the reason Trump can act quickly there. But the question is, can Trump really take over the city? Right now, Trump is using his emergency powers under the Home Rule Act to federalize the police and deploy the Guard. For a full federal takeover, he will need Congress to repeal the Home Rule Act. And that is very unlikely, because Democrats strongly support local control. And most importantly, Republicans don't have the 60 Senate votes needed. But Trump can control the DC police for 30 days without the US Congress. He can deploy the DC National Guard anytime. He can increase federal law enforcement presence by reallocating agents from agencies like the FBI, ATF, and DEA. And of course, clear homeless encampments on federal land. Legal experts say Trump cannot force all homeless people out of the city just for lacking shelter, but he can remove them from parks and other federal property, as previous administrations have done. So, Trump's power is significant but not unlimited, and courts could step in. Meanwhile, protesters took to the streets against Trump's move. They were seen holding banners, reading "National Disgrace" and chanting, "Trump must go now."
Trump must go now! Trump must go now! Trump must go now! Trump must go now!
Growing up in Washington, D.C., it's very hard to see this city being captured by Donald Trump and making everybody live in fear. I don't approve of it. I just think it's a bad move.
Now let's understand the role of the US National Guard. The National Guard is a reserve force of the US Armed Forces. Members usually serve part-time but can be mobilized quickly for domestic crises like natural disasters, civil unrest, or security events. In states, governors control the Guard. In DC, it reports only to the president. That's why Trump could deploy 800 troops to the Capitol without local approval. These troops are not regular police, so they don't usually make arrests. Instead, they support crowd control, protect key sites, and help maintain order. Past deployments in DC include the 2021 Capitol riot and presidential inaugurations. This time, Guard members have been seen in armored vehicles, setting up barricades and patrolling tourist areas alongside federal agents. So Trump's latest move in Washington has set up a sharp clash with the city's Democratic leadership. He says it's about cleaning up crime and homelessness. Local officials say crime is already falling and accuse him of an authoritarian push. Either way, Washington, D.C. stays in the spotlight, not just for America, but for the entire world. That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.